Here in the live music capital of the world, bands play all over town on any given night. They draw supportive crowds of lively people who enjoy the music. But only on KXAN Austin News at 10 tonight, our Jim Swift tells us sometimes it's important that musicians take their art to the fans.
41-year-old Claudia Flores running her final laps in a decade-long race against cancer is on her way to a concert in her own living room.
In the context of an illness, your last memories end up being about the suffering and the grief of letting go. But when you inject some music in it, into that time period, it becomes easier. They focus on that, and that's the memory that they hold on to.
The nonprofit that ministers to the dying with music had its beginnings almost 20 years ago when a terminally ill fan of singer-songwriter Christine Albert asked her to perform for a small gathering of his friends and family before he died. The man's name was John Swan, and the organization became known as Swan Songs.
We've done classical music, blues, Spanish music, bagpipes, Texas blues.
Sometimes people request specific artists as well, like Ray Benson of Asleep at the Wheel, or singer-songwriter Jimmy LaFave, who performed for a man and his dying wife at the woman's bedside.
When we got there, they took off their wedding rings and they showed Jimmy that they had some of his lyrics engraved in their wedding bands. That's how much his music had meant to them, and he'd never met them. And it was almost inconceivable to her that he was sitting there in her room singing to her. And it was very powerful and very beautiful.
Then there was the time that Mark Gunn played Irish songs for a dying woman and her daughter.
They requested a specific song that her mother had learned from her parents in Ireland and that she had then taught to her daughter. And they had sung it when she was a child, and he knew that song, and they were holding hands, and he played that song for them. And before the song was through, her mother let go and passed away. You walk into that room as a musician and you realize this person has accepted and surrendered to the fact that their days are numbered and they're cherishing every moment.
For Claudia Flores, the songs and chants of the Hildy Girls were perfect.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Overwhelming. It's just been overwhelming. Thank you. Beyond words.
Jim Swift, KXAN, Austin News.
Beyond words. Thank you.
Swan Songs is supported by donations, and there's no charge for those performances.
Now, if you know someone who might benefit from the nonprofit organization's work, you can find out how to request a performance through a link with this story on the local news page of our website, kxan.com.